Hey guys, Cam from Inky Knuckles or Kinky Cankles, I see in the chat, which
What
might
the
mean,
fuck?
might mean me or might mean Victor. But
Love
yeah,
it.
we're coming at you from our bi-weekly Wednesday night and live stream with Mr. Brian Lovell, who succumbed to pressure and is drawing the Punisher. And
Mm-hmm.
this week we are joined by a very special guest, Victor Alpi. How you doing, Victor?
I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. I was just moving a bunch of stuff around over here, so I muted my mic. But I'm doing well.
That's
Working
nice.
on a commission, trying to catch up on stuff that I said I was going to do before I decided to make a very big book, and then I'm going to work on that tonight for you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, so Victor's working on a commission. Brian's drawing the Punisher, and as usual, unless he decides to hang on to it, we'll be selling the Punisher right after the show. So, thanks everyone for hopping on. And I had interruptees too. We're going off about Barbenheimer. I told them to save that for the show. So continue on the conversation, guys.
Yeah, so buckle up. It's Barbenheimer edition. Victor has seen it. I have not, but I'm going to go see Oppenheimer on Sunday with Aaron. So he was kind of giving the rundown. Victor, if you had to any of the people that are tuned in, you said that Barbie did it more for you than Oppenheimer, but they were both excellent. I think. I think
Victor's muted. Yeah.
he's still recovering from the dazzling double feature. All right. Well, I'll just I'll lock it down here until he's ready.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness gracious! I had everything all messed up. Am I coming in now?
Yep.
You are.
Great. Perfect. I thought that both movies were excellent, like you said, like we were talking about before the show started. But I think Barbie tonally and message wise, I think was overall just an outstanding movie. I did not go into the theater thinking that I was gonna think that Barbie was the most incredible thing since like the first Spider-Verse movie.
Damn. High praise.
But like it's really fucking good, man.
Wow.
I was like sitting there like damn, I'm like emotional in a Barbie movie right now. Like it's pretty good.
That Greta Gerwig's got it, hey?
Yeah. And it was also I had my sister in town who is a writer in LA and was staying with us for a little while to save some money while the strike is going on. And it was just a good time. Watched it with Kate as well. Had like a meal in between, kind of little intermission.
God, that sounds great.
Meal. Yeah, it was just a really great day. We watched it on Sunday. There was no one in the theater. There was no like big line or anything for either of the movies.
So you did them both on the same day, Victor?
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be Barbenheimer if you did a Barb and then a Heimer, right? You got to do them.
Yeah, right.
Come on, get with the program.
That would just be Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Yeah, that has shitty mouthfeel.
Yeah, like, exactly.
It has to be Barbenheimer.
Which one did you see first?
Barbie. We saw that at like God damn it, was it 11 in the morning? And then we had like a meal when we got out of that, and then at 3:30 or so we watched Oppenheimer. So like by the time we left Oppenheimer, the sun was still out, so we could like still sort of recover from that experience.
Yeah,
because it is kind of like
nuclear holocausty.
It's a downer. Yeah, it's a bit of a downer.
A little nuclear holocaust.
Yeah,
trouble. So big question for me: are you a horror or David Lynch guy, Victor?
I am not super well first, I guess.
I was going to ask if we had an appearance from Judy in Oppenheimer, but anybody anybody on the chat who knows what the fuck I'm talking about will appreciate that question. But it's okay, you can ignore it. But I would highly recommend Twin Peaks: The Return from Showtime. It's spectacular.
That's the return of Twin Peaks, like not the original, but what they did when they brought it back.
Yeah, season 3, essentially.
Okay, gotcha. Nice. I have not seen that yet.
It's amazing, but I'm a fucking stan for that show, so maybe the wrong guy to ask.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong to say that that's like a polarizing thing for like I guess David Lynch fans? Like you either really like it or you don't.
I don't think Lynch fans dislike it. I think we're all pretty unanimously in love with it. I think if you're not a Lynch fan, so I guess there is that very, very small slice of pie out of Lynch fans that are, or cherry pie if you're also in tune with David Lynch, where like they just always want the sort of, they pretty much want the first, I don't know, 12 episodes of Twin Peaks
again.
And after that you never get it, and because it's such a distinctly different thing after that. It kind of middles in the middle of season 2 because the producer wanted, it was what's his name, was his Bob Iger or whoever the hell it was, the
Disney guy that everyone hates right now.
Yeah, well, he wanted Laura Palmer's killer to be revealed earlier, and has even admitted that was probably a mistake. And so
really? Probably, right?
So they reveal the killer, in season 2, and then the show kind of has to finish out its 22 episodes, which the last 2 episodes are some of the best TV ever made. But then Lynch made the movie Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, which is almost like an anti-Twin Peaks sort of thing, where it's like almost kind of inverts everything that you love about it, as almost not like just to be spiteful, but kind of to like demonstrate the difference between Twin Peaks and everywhere else. Like it's kind of like doppelgangers that don't look alike, like they replace the 2 detective sort of figures with 2 other ones. It's a whole thing, but it's brilliant. And season 3 feels more akin to Fire Walk with Me, which luckily has gotten a fair reappraisal in the last 10 years, so that's pretty nice.
Nice.
I think he got booed at Cannes when it came out, and now everybody's like, "Oh yeah, we're idiots. This shit rocks." So it's pretty good.
Gotta love that.
I love a guy that can get
self-correcting audience.
Yep. I mean, sometimes I think like there's the irony vote where people are just like, "Oh, this is trash, so I like it," just to be spiteful and shitty to the crowd. But then eventually that kind of takes root. It's like when hipsters started wearing mustaches again. You know what I mean? Like it kind of started ironically, and now it's like, oh yeah, they're kind of cool. So it's kind of you know what I mean? Cam, present company excluded. I'm kind of talking about the pure mustache, where everything's just completely shaved, and it's kind of like a cop, less of like a guy about to go to fight in a George Bellows painting, and more of like a guy on a cop motorcycle. That's kind of the vibe I'm talking more about.
No, I know exactly what it is. The less authentic kind.
The one that takes a little less work, I should say. Yeah. And I think it looks good. I think it was one of those things that started ironically and a little bit ugly, and then it kind of got good. So it's a matter of immersion, I guess.
I think it's one of those things that just comes and goes in style. Like my dad rocked a mustache for a while back in the day, and it just comes back.
Yeah, and I would wait. People have worn mustaches for more time than they haven't. So it's kind of, it's to be expected that it'll be around. Kind of as an aside, Cam, does fucking Punisher smoke or what?
No.
What a loser.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, because the Thing, Wolverine, they smoke. Victor, what's your Punisher knowledge like?
I read a lot of. I read a bit of Max. I won't say I read a lot. I read a lot of the end of Max with Is it Parlov that did it?
Yeah, I
Yep.
think so.
Yeah, his like stuff with Barracuda and
Amazing.
is just some of like the coolest comics I think I was reading at that point, and I still was like maybe a little bit too young to even realize how cool it was, because now I wish I had like kept all of those comics, because he's incredible. Parlov is, they are.
What? Yeah, those max runs and like all the Jason Aaron stuff, but you're jumping from like you get the Ennis and you get Steve Dillon and then you get Goran Parlov. It was just like looking back, I was just like you, Victor, where too young to maybe understand the genius in it at all, but I loved it.
Yeah, exactly. It was. I was like, I pearls before swine. Basically, I was like, I was a dumb kid working at a comic book shop, and I was like, oh man, this is so cool. But like, I didn't collect it. I just like read it off the wall as it came out. I was like, oh man, yeah, this is really cool. Can't wait for the next issue. But like, should have been hoarding it like gold, and I regret that.
Yeah, it was an embarrassment.
I don't see the chat or anything. Is this like
I saw the chat. Somebody said Frank's body is a temple, and I immediately wanted to be like, yeah, they burn incense in there. So
Well, we need
are we live on YouTube?
Yep,
Is that
we
where
are.
it's at?
Oh, it's not on the right hand side, or are you guys just seeing the
It's
comments?
just blank.
Oh,
Comments. It's in comments. Private chat is what I had open. There we go. Nice. Sweet deal. No, I'm good to go now.
yeah, we're torn. Half the group thinks smoking's cool. The other half thinks Frank's body is a temple. So,
like a good Christian man, I'm going to have to say that I'll have to say that it takes all kinds, and that whatever you think about it, it's fine in the end. You just gotta, as long as Frank's trying to be a good boy, which he never is. Let's see here.
I haven't really read much of the new Punisher stuff. Actually, I haven't read any. I don't know. There's a new guy coming out. Yeah, I don't know.
There's a new Punisher writer coming out.
No new Punisher, like a Danny.
Someone's taking the mantle.
Yeah. I think they're claiming he's the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, right? He was the second Ghost Rider. Oh, that's Mikhail says.
They're recycling a character.
Hold on. So is it actually Danny Ketch, or you're saying it's like the Punisher equivalent of Danny Ketch?
The Punisher equivalent. He's got it. I forget what his name is. Mikhail might know more, but Mikhail also just said he's trying to get some fights going.
You know what? Who's ML? Are we going to do this JR thing again? I'm going to start screaming on the chat. This is incredible. I feel like I'm getting goaded into an argument here.
What's going on, Brian?
No, I'm going to turn the other cheek. You know what? It's all Christian talk today. Like, so now you're going to have to deal with me. Oh, he has a pause button on his chat. What? Oh, I think is somebody fucking around. I'm like, I feel like I'm on drugs. Like, this is crazy. You guys are awesomely good sports dealing with my dumb ass.
Yeah, you know what? Since I'm just kind of moving screens around, the new Punisher, his name is
Reed Richards.
Well, I'm having so much trouble because I haven't been. Joe Garrison will take over the mantle from David Paposi.
Oh yeah, David Papose
and David Wachter.
Oh, Dave Wachter's great. That's a good fit.
Yeah, he's really good.
At the con I was at this past weekend, speaking of great artists, I got to hang out with my pal Kyle Hotz, and nothing will really make you feel shittier about your art than hanging out with Kyle Hotz. What an incredible artist!
Yeah, he's wild.
He had like a table with a bunch of originals and a bunch of cover, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like just an endless supply of like. It's kind of like his stuff is like so busy too that it's like kind of a brain melter. Like he just gets in there and just draws until there's just no room left. If I
Nice.
tried that, it would look like ass.
I don't know what that's like.
Do you like Kyle's stuff?
I honestly am not familiar. I'm gonna look him up right now.
It's HOTZ.
HOTZ. I probably am following him because it sounds really familiar.
Yeah, you can kind of see a lot of influence like of like Kelly Jones, big time in there.
Yeah, I am following him.
He's really
Yeah, definitely see the Kelly Jones.
he's like obviously a Wrightson fan. Giant. He's a really huge Jack Davis fan.
He's been around for quite a while too. Hey, just
oh yeah,
catching some more.
He's got like a Bernie Wrightson thing going too.
oh yeah, definitely.
His black and white stuff is very very well, very intricate, like you said.
Hey, chat is should Frank have a jacket on or should he just be in his clothes? I'm gonna wait for a couple answers before I jump into before I'm gonna work on this gun.
It's funny. I have Kyle Hott's Punisher tattooed on my back, or not Punisher, Hulk, from when I was younger. I wasn't. I was just reading comics. I really liked the image years ago. I think I was like 20, and the image is awesome, but the tattoo is not very good.
Yeah,
So-
that happens.
Yeah, it was, but still there. I haven't covered it up or lasered it off. It'd be cool if someone did it like really good to look
If
like.
only if only you knew a tattooer that liked superheroes, huh?
Hard to find. Did you tattoo anyone today, Brian?
I did. My friend Corey drove down from Northern Ohio, and we finished kind of a thing that was like 20 years in the making on her because she wanted to get
Wow.
tattooed ages ago, and just she never got around to it. And we finally just kind of started last year, and so it was kind of cool to, you know, wait. So she was kind of like I've been friends with her for decades. You know, she used to drive us all around during like the hardcore show days when we would play in the band. She was kind of at every show, and you know, it was just kind of when you're playing in punk bands and shit, there's always like some of those people that are just at every show and supporting the band at all times. She was that gal, her and Mia. And so it was funny, like her and Mia drove down today and it was like super old times. It rocked.
That sounds great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Finished her thigh tattoo and she's talking about maybe just starting a leg sleeve, which would be awesome.
How was her pain tolerance on the thigh? My thigh tattoo hurt more than probably anywhere else on my body.
She was so she kind of complained the whole time that she wasn't getting tattooed, like about how bad it was going to be and how awful it was going to feel and this, that, and the other. And then like when it came time to actually tattoo her, it was like it wasn't shit. You know what I mean? Like she didn't react, she didn't do anything, she didn't like clench up or anything. It was kind of great. So,
did you see what Mikhail said about getting a tattoo from you?
let's hear it. What's Mikhail saying? What I want to know what Mikhail said about getting a tattoo. I like that we're developing this excellent like frenemy relationship on here. It's pretty great.
I was worried you might throw a JR image on there.
Well, fuck around and find out, Mikhail.
So, Victor, I'm surprised that you're not a horror guy. I'm not sure why.
Dude, I just really like feeling good.
That's the opposite of me.
I like in terms of the media I consume, like I really like drama. I like to think. I like to be made to think, and pensive movies are awesome, and thrillers I enjoy a lot. But like straight up horror, is tough for me. It has to be like one of the, vetted classic, considered a great movie kind of movies for me to really like even care to sit down and watch it. I married a person who basically only likes those things. So I've been dipping my toes and finding more and more things that I've enjoyed in the horror space. So that's cool. I'm like growing to like it.
So I guess Meredith gets to come on the next one and talk
there you
horror.
go.
Because we were speaking of like feeling good, because that was our discussion last week, Brian, was about how good horror, and I'm paraphrasing you, but good horror is kind of inherently mean, or getting back to mean horror is kind of a good thing.
Yeah, I think mean's almost like a matter of perspective, because like it's just deeply confrontational. And I think that's often, at least in a current cultural sense, is perceived as mean. Like anytime that you're kind of confronted with especially something that doesn't have an easy resolution and that doesn't tell you how to feel or think about it, is kind of perceptively mean. And I kind of think like it's doing me a solid in a lot of respects, like if you don't tell me how to think about something, you don't tell me how to feel about it, but you just kind of like lay it bare and then I suffer. Like I'm kind of like, it's fiction. So like, what am I suffering about? Like what am I holding on to? What am I afraid of? What do I hold dear that's clearly being challenged to be taken away from me? Like all that stuff. And what do I have any control over? Virtually none of it. So I just like the sort of psychic challenge that kind of inherently comes with it. And sometimes it just takes someone being a little mean to you in a safe environment to kind of confront that stuff. So that's a lot of the appeal for me, is just like the sort of curated suffering.
The curated suffering and the challenge.
That's a very good way of looking at it. I like that.
So Victor, Adam asked about The Thing. Do you like The Thing?
I have seen, I think I just watched The Thing recently, and yeah, I did enjoy that movie.
And then Future Landfill, which I don't know what their real name is.
That is Ugis Burzins.
Ugis Burzins?
Yeah, he is he's a good friend of mine.
Well,
hello, Ugis. Welcome to the chat.
He's got excellent taste. I would agree that The Thing, I think 2 movies, which I would consider, actually 3 perfect movies in my opinion.
He was Ugis was in the book, actually.
Oh, nice.
Like a pinup in the book or a character in the book?
He was a Claire's book. Nice. He was a pinup in the book. He is an artist himself.
I'm just looking at it now.
Yeah.
I would agree that The Thing is a perfect movie. Excellent. Actually, I'm going to share my screen here in a second, Brian, and then Victor, and I'll get a bigger image of it. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Who just
he and I went to school together, college here in Savannah, and he has been a friend of mine for a long time. He also comes to these weekly drawing events at our house.
Excellent. And this pinup,
he's one of the regulars. He's very, very talented.
Where can I share my screen here?
Hard to work with, but really talented.
Ugis, what the fuck?
I'm just busting his balls.
Yeah, I think The Thing, Jaws, and Halloween, I would consider those 3 movies perfect. As close to perfect movies, perfect films in existence that I want to sit down and rewatch every single night. I would say those 3. I would deem them perfect.
There's not a whole lot of movies I would qualify as perfect. I would add Chinatown and Hot Fuzz to that list.
Hot Fuzz.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's completely and totally like not one part of it is pretty, and like not one part of it I can find with a flaw. I think sometimes there's a taste issue there for some people, so maybe you could consider that a flaw, like that maybe the appeal isn't completely universal. However, I think you could say the same thing for The Thing, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I think, well, first time I watched Hot Fuzz, I didn't really know what I was watching. I don't think I had developed enough palate yet, because I think I was just expecting a straight up. Well, it is a banger now. You go back and watch it, but that compared to like Shaun of the Dead, I think I had different expectations.
Mhm.
I can tell you like exactly the moment that made me basically try to stay away from horror as much as possible.
Ooh, this is juicy.
Um,
I want to do this.
it's really just like kind of the experience of being a kid left alone with the remote at your grandma's,
Mhm.
and you flip the channel and the original It is on TV,
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh yeah,
and it's
Somewhere.
it's the sink scene where like the balloon blows up and it's just like blood exploding in the
Yep.
sink, and
I remember that pretty vividly as a kid.
and it's on network
Yeah.
television.
and it's on network television, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh, geez, this is like really making me feel like terrified right now, and I'm just like in my grandma's house. Like, if it can make me feel this way, like I don't want any part of it,
Sure.
So it was like, I guess in a way, sort of traumatizing in that way.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and that
But-
was, I kind of had the shared experience, Victor, except it was the sewer drain scene. Same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a clown. It's 6:30 p.m. on a Tuesday night. You just finished your
Yeah.
homework, and you're watching a clown on TV. That all of a sudden it's just killing a little boy, and you're like, "What the fuck is this?"
You're like, and then yeah,
and me, a little boy, is kind of just like not having a great time.
How old are you?
I'm gonna be 35 this year.
Nice. Yeah, so I'm 41, so that would have come out probably when I was 8. I don't know, what was that, 91 when that came out on TV?
I couldn't even tell you.
So yeah, but I mean, I think it ran it ran for like on network TV quite a lot too. I think.
Yeah, it did. It definitely did.
That him crawling out of the drain in the locker room too, like the shower, was real nasty.
Just all the drains, man.
He's a big drain guy, really, Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna yuck his yum or anything. You hang out in the drain if you want, buddy. But it's not for me. I'm not a drain guy.
So I was I think I'm kind of ready, almost there. I was telling Cam that I am taking a turn on this piece and experimenting with something. I opened up some Lone Wolf and Cub mangas, the little digest ones, because I've actually never really read it, and I wanted to get like sort of a reference for this piece, because I don't like going in blind, and I had these guys set up almost like a group of like shogun, like samurais, like all in sort of like a more formal uniform sort of thing, and I was like, just sort of like not really feeling that. And then I opened the book to get a reference, and I was starting to notice like a lot of like patterns and stuff in there. So instead of like making them all uniform, I actually decided that I'm going to like use a bunch of different patterns of zipatone,
Awesome.
like all over these guys' like ease or whatever, and sort of just make this like really noisy in that sort of way, because the main character's gi is like sort of going to be just very basic and normal.
Oh yeah, that'll be great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I thought that might either be really boring to watch or really fun to watch. So let's find out.
So funny, I'm doing like a sleeve on this guy right now, and he kind of was like just wanted some. I was like, "What are you thinking? You want?" He wanted to get a sleeve, and I was like, "Well." He said, I like just like good versus evil shit, like kind of like just kind of a basic, like not really, didn't really give me any ideas beyond just like the theme, And he was like, I like angels and demons and shit. And I was like, all right, cool, like maybe like a Saint Michael overwhelming the demons sort of thing. And he's like, yeah, that's cool. I like Japanese shit too. And I was like, oh, so like a Shoki the demon, like we just kind of started running through shit, and I kind of ended up just going for. I gave him this. I kind of suggested doing like Saint Michael, like mashed up with Shoki. So we're doing like this cool, like sort of mashup of Shoki the Demon Queller and Saint Michael fighting like the demon or whatever, and the sort of his clothes. Instead of doing like a geometric pattern, I got this cool scan from like the Dead Sea Scrolls of the Book of Revelation, like in Greek, that they unearthed. So I'm going to just kind of overlay that as the pattern because it's all that blocky Greek text, which I think will make for a really cool pattern, which is I think will make for a really fun tattoo. It's been a good time.
That actually sounds super fucking sick.
Yeah, it's turned out pretty good. It's all black and gray. Like he's he's kind of like this big. He's a pretty muscly dude. He's like you could tell he's just like been working out since he was a kid. So you know how like when those dudes just do that, like they just kind of stay thick their whole life.
Yeah,
like he's just kind of got like that kind of build. So I can just kind of, I can just kind of do whatever. He's got a lot of arm to work with. Pretty cool. And I think he's going to do the other side, just more like focused on like devil demons and shit. So I'm wondering if I can do like a Fudo Mio sort of, guarding hell sort of scene, but kind of still ripping in some Western imagery too. I think it'll be a good time.
Well, looking at Victor's ambitions on this commission, I'd say you two collectively like to go overboard on your commissions. I mean, that's an awesome thing. But I was kind of laughing as Victor was describing his plan here. That sounds, Carlos says, would you do a remark tattoo option?
I don't know what that means. So please explain. I want to hear about this.
Carlos is fighting the new trend of head sketches and remarks as the preeminent convention option. So this is a war he's waging.
You mean he doesn't? Yeah, Carlos. You said Carlos?
Yeah.
Carlos, you don't like the fact that that's what people are doing, or you prefer it? I'm kind of.
He likes 11x17 full bleed cover quality, and I'm trying to convince him to pull the trigger on a Martin Morazzo commission right now.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. I don't know if you're going to get that. Like, are you saying you prefer that, Carlos, at shows, or you just prefer those in general? Because I don't know anybody that's going to turn that shit around at a show, except for maybe me.
Well, it's funny the trends, how much it's changed. I always talk about it, but when I first started collecting, how available, even just pre-shows, like you could take $2,000, which is no inconsequential amount of money, but like I went to a show in Seattle once, and I think I spent $2,000, and out of that I had like a Frank Cho of 11x17 like pre-show commission from Matteo Scalera. I think I might have got a David Finch full figure. I think I got Humberto Ramos like a 11x17 full figure. I got like 12 commissions. I mean, that was, I think, 2012, 2014, somewhere around there. But it was just wild. And things have changed. Obviously, the time put in, the money spent was quite a bit different, but yeah.
I would love to see like some data sets of like the big two's rates contrasted up against how much commissions cost. Because I'm wondering if like as rates go down for a lot of these sort of companies, then artists kind of just to maintain their livelihoods, have to charge more for commissions and stuff.
Well, I
And-
swear the original art market, it's as much as you can sell a double dip, quote unquote. But I mean, I think the publishers are as big of a beneficiary of that as anybody.
Oh, for sure.
Justify,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Unfortunately, but so I found Ujis's, or I
Yeah.
Cam, something died here.
Yeah. What
You
happened?
went silent.
It was getting good.
Rescue mission here.
there we go. Everyone's back. Did I glitch out there for a second?
You did, yeah.
Sure did.
Sorry, yeah. Everyone I think it was just because I was trying to share my screen here. Having some major technical difficulties. Actually, after reading that dude just is pin up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He just not just we both did covers for a book called Mother Russia, and his just got kind of announced and is coming out soon. It's stellar. If you go to his profile, you'll see it there. But he's bonkers.
I'll post the link here.
I was gassing up everybody. I was gassing up Victor because I got to see all of his pages from how do you say it? Hugh Marks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to see all the pages from it, and those of you that haven't popped over to Inky Knuckles' site to look at them, holy shit, they're crazy. That page of the main character running through like the four vertical panels with all like his inner sort of monologue, well, he's like with that cut of light that cuts through the floor. It's kind of like that overhead shot. What an insanely awesome page.
Thank you.
That is.
I have definitely had a lot.
I said that without any cuss words.
It's impressive. I wouldn't have.
Yeah. I was trying to not.
It's coming out the 9th. Yeah. Mother Russia. Yeah, there it is. Boom. Cam with the freaking links over here.
And if for the Hugh Marks and also Brian Levels original, I just posted the links into the starred version of the chat. So check those out, guys.
Guys, I was thinking about starting a Patreon. What do you think about that?
I've got one.
Yeah? What's the verdict?
I like it.
Not a pain in the ass, too bad?
No, I actually kind of enjoy it as like my main place to like. I post on Instagram basically like whatever my phone will let me post or whatever my computer will let me post. But otherwise, I'll put like my scans and my real process stuff on my Patreon, like way before I show any of the stuff on Instagram.
Nice.
And I just do it like that. I have one tier. I keep it at $5. I keep it simple, and I'm like, I've got people who like are struggling and kind of needed to bow out, and I'm just like posting everything publicly anyway on it. So I find it to be super chill, man. I'm not trying to like squeeze money out of people, I guess, in that way. I'd rather like make big pieces of art and sell that. But if you have $5 that you don't mind losing every month, in the dryer, so to speak, then supporting a friend or an artist is something I do. I also like if I get 2 or 3 patrons or whatever, I'll like find someone to support. So like I am on Ujis's Patreon and um, uh, Jerk Comics and a bunch of other people. Jim Rugg. I follow Jim Rugg just to find out what that guy's up to.
He's real good, hey?
He's very good, man. Like I want to know like what he's doing behind the scenes. That's why I joined him. Not that he needs this my support specifically, but I really look up to him as a creator. He's very talented.
Yeah, sometimes I think of that stuff as just paying for school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's basically how I see it. Yeah, it's good. I like it, and people know about it. It's not like something you've got to explain to people. It's like
Right.
I've got a Patreon. It's like okay, cool. See you there or not.
Yeah, that's good insight. Thank you. Yeah, because I started a newsletter, and kind of the stuff I only did really a few posts, and they just took a lot out of me, because like I was kind of like curating something very specific, and like there was, it was just like because I was trying to give people like a part of myself that I don't give anywhere else, you
Yeah.
know, and so like, and so I was kind of writing these long things that were really personal, and I like doing it, but I can't reliably carve out that kind of time, and just
Yeah.
conceptually like there's, I want to make sure it's valuable to people, so like. But like a Patreon seems appealing because it's like, okay, cool. Like I can show scans, I can show previews of stuff I'm working on. Like I can just kind of be like, hey, what's up? And it doesn't have to feel like this very super duper serious thing that I'm kind of doing. Like
Exactly.
I can be serious about the people, but not necessarily serious about the content in a way where it's like taking a lot out of me to prepare it. It's like I'm kind of doing this stuff anyway, so I want to share it with you and give you some insight and maybe have some hangouts every once in a while if people want to get together and just talk about shit and talk process, just that kind of shit.
Yeah. It's a great place for that, I think. Not this year, but last year I picked up Jim Rugg's um, Ninja Turtles like blacklight poster that he did a while
Mm-hmm.
back. It's it's actually still rolled up and in the tube because I don't have money to frame it yet, but I that guy is just like incredible. He's such a chameleon. He can really do
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dan just mentioned in the chat that he got a ballpoint pen sketch of Abdullah the Butcher.
Whoa.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Heroes one. I posted a link to it, although you guys probably can't see that. But yeah, it's awesome. It's very cool. Yeah, I really appreciate what Jim's doing.
I'm just lucky that like not everyone is doing Patreon because like fuck man, if Mark Laszlo and Matthew Allison and Maria Wolf and all of these people started getting Patreons, man, I wouldn't have any money. I'm glad they're just sticking to the publishing part and just making books, making art, making commissions. I can keep up with that.
Well, Patreon, I'm trying to think how many I have. I have a handful.
Erin has two, which is, she really enjoys the two she subscribes to.
That's the thing too. Like you really do need to enjoy what you're subscribed to, and I make sure that like you know I'm doing that. Oh, Vlad Golifston. He's someone that I subscribe to, especially with the war going on over there. As soon as I heard he was having uh, issues, I like popped on his. He shares stuff all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's enjoyable. I had a hard time just as like a consumer of everything. Um, hard time reading comics, collecting art, and giving the Patreon stuff. It's fair due.
It seems like too. It's kind of one of those things where like you got to break the seal of it first before you kind of like, like I have never done one, and I'm sure as soon as I do one, I'll do a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I find them really enjoyable to consume. It just I don't do it as consistently as I'd like. It's like once a month I'll do a deep dive kind of thing. Yeah. Ian, Alexis, Uncle Ewan, Jesse Lonergan.
Oh
Matt-
yeah, I'm on his as well. Ewan's.
Who does you want again?
What's that?
Who did you say you were on, Victor?
Ewan
Okay.
McLaughlin, Uncle Ewan.
I
He's
love
great.
I love his work.
He's an
Wow.
incredible artist, incredible person. He's super nice. Um, I can't say enough good things about him.
Yeah, I'm just looking at his Umark's pinup right now.
He's so fucking
Carlos
good.
is asking if anyone's into the MCU. So careful how you answer this because Carlos is a Batman guy, so he's got his biases.
Well,
I mean,
I don't watch any of them, so
I don't really have any like I'm not gonna pick sides there just because like I feel like it's all just movies.
Yep.
It's all just comics, you know.
Yep.
So I'll watch them. I haven't seen a lot of the more recent ones. I sort of fell out of going to the theaters and catching them all, and I haven't really.
the only
I don't
stuff
know.
I've seen has been the Spider-Verse stuff, and I haven't even seen the new one of that. So I guess that first Spider-Verse movie is really the only stuff we really watch much of.
The Victor is a Turtles guy. What do you think of what the new one looks like?
Oh my god, I want to see it so bad.
The trailer looks so good.
It
I'm
does look
so
good.
excited for it, man. Are you kidding? I've had a lot of discussions about this point with the Ninja Turtles. That like it them continuing to like redo and remake and freshen up the look and characters is so like excellent and crucial to the survival of Ninja Turtles.
Absolutely.
And I you don't have to like every variation that they come up with, but I feel like it introduces more every generation like to the Ninja Turtles, and I think that's always a good thing.
I think the fact that Leatherhead's in it immediately won me over, and
Yeah.
somehow voiced by Rose Byrne. I don't understand that 'cause it's not like it's a female Leatherhead. I don't think. I'm so intrigued by it, but I love Leatherhead. I've loved Leatherhead since I was 5.
I will keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think you're right though. A lot of the Ninja Turtles stuff. I think that it was the Rise of the Turtles. I didn't really because I am at my core, I love the Turtles too. I never really got into that, but I don't feel like that show was for me.
Right.
Rise of the Turtles.
Like I said, and not every version has to be for every generation. But I think that it's interesting. Like I didn't really know how I felt about the Michael Bay ones, you know.
Yeah.
But I still went and watched them because it still was like, fuck it, man, it's Ninja Turtles, you know? Like, who cares if it's bad? Like, it's still fucking cowbunga, shell shock, you know, silly shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a hard time. I am a Ninja Turtle stan, so I have a hard time saying anything bad, even for the bad ones.
That's like me and Freddy Krueger.
There you go.
What about non-Robert Englund Freddy Krueger?
The only movie that was the movie I came closest to walking out of any movie in my life, and I sat through Thinner.
I'm having deja vu.
Didn't I? Didn't I say that last week?
Yeah, I think verbatim.
I think it's a bit now.
I think I've only passively watched that.
The newest Nightmare.
Yeah,
It's a nightmare, all right, just not the way you want.
yeah. Well, I saw. What did I see? There's a new movie that just came out on demand. Now I'm going off on a tangent. Some new slasher show, and it's got Danielle Harris of
Halloween 4 and 5 fame.
4, 5, and 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then it's got Robert Englund in it as well.
Oh, have you heard my hot take on Halloween? Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yep.
Okay.
But I'm guessing a lot of people here haven't.
Okay. Well, for those of you that don't know, I will comfortably stand by that. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is the best movie he's ever made, which of course makes people hate me because of the Devil's Rejects, but I fucking stand by it.
Yeah, I would. I actually really enjoyed. At the time, I can see why it probably takes the heat it does, but there is Halloween 1 when that came out. I really enjoyed that. It was, looking back, maybe not as rewatchable, but at the time I really, really enjoyed that. I would have said at that time that was the best movie he's ever done.
I'll say I do love how stylish it is.
Yeah. And Michael Myers is scary.
Yep, very scary.
And that movie's mean.
Oh yeah, to the point of being annoying.
Gratuitously mean.
Well, it's mean and it serves nothing. So that's kind of my beef with its meanness. Is like it's not pushing you to any boundaries that you learn from. It's just kind of repulsive for.
Yeah.
Like it's repulsive without utility.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Which is fine. People are allowed to enjoy that. Like, different strokes for different folks and all that. I'll pass.
We're like that only took like the tangent went from Rise of the Ninja Turtles to Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2 pretty quick. That was a pretty smooth segue.
There's 3 degrees of Rob Zombie.
Victor, are you reading the Turtles Usagi thing that's out right now?
No, I'm not. But I guess I should be.
Yeah, I haven't read it. I'm on a big Usagi kick. Just reading some of the old omnibuses right now. I didn't even realize there was one out.
I did that commission a while back, and I really wanted to start reading Usagi, but there's so much of it, and the different versions, or I guess publishings of it, has really made it confusing to know where to start.
That was kind of by me, the same thing for me. My LCS here, Another Dimension Comics. I swear they used to have a bigger Usagi collection, but I think they kind of got bought all up. But they had the book 6 omnibus, so I just bought it and just started reading it, and it's really good. Doesn't require any prior really, so don't fret. I don't think there's a good starting point. Even I bought book 1, the omnibuses too, and there's even prior stuff before that. I think you can just jump into the middle, and that's it. Oh, Brian, did you watch The Monsters by Rob Zombie?
I started it and it was delightful, but it wasn't good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was watching it and I was like, oh, this is clearly somebody made something that they loved. And you could feel the love in it, but it was still just kind of I don't know if this is a good movie or not. It you know what? I'll just say this. It didn't feel like a movie. It felt like a Munster sketch comedy show. It was just one scene after another without a whole lot of story in there. But that was fine. I was like, oh, this will be great to throw on in the background during a Halloween party or something.
Yeah. Well, that makes
And it looked good. It was like handsome.
what Neil is adamant in his disdain for it.
Oh, I think that I think that's
Neil,
totally fair.
yeah,
I don't think it's good. You know what I mean? I just kind of think it's cute.
yeah. I never watched that. I think it's a lot of his stuff. Neil mentioned 31 as well. I haven't.
Oh, I thought that movie sucked ass.
31.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I fucking turn that fucker off pretty quick.
that one. I'm sure we talked about. What was the witch one?
Oh, Lords of Salem.
Lords of Salem. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that movie. I don't love that movie. It's got a ton of problems, but it's kind of more my speed.
Yeah, I thought there was some unique stuff in it that I enjoyed.
Definitely. I think there's a good movie in there for sure.
Yeah, I think if you combine a lot of Rob Zombie stuff, you can. There's a lot of cool stuff in there, but yeah, I find myself I have to be in the right frame of mind.
Yep, agreed. I tell you what, I've been like on a kick just rewatching a bunch of old movies lately, and I rewatched. I haven't seen it, God, in forever, and I rewatched Double Indemnity. What a fucking awesome movie, God! Every time, just incredible. That one might be perfect.
I had to Google that. The 1944 noir crime film, runtime an hour 47.
Yep. Big recommend if you've never seen it. It's really special.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like the setup's perfect, the delivery's perfect. I think it was co-written by Chandler, like Raymond Chandler, along with Billy Wilder. It's really great. I'm a big Billy Wilder fan. I love Some Like It Hot and The Apartment and Sunset Boulevard and stuff. So I'm a sucker for that dude's stuff.
I'm gonna mark that down.
But I've been kind of revisiting a lot of the old black and white sort of. I've rewatched Night of the Hunter and Kiss Me Deadly, and I got Black Sunday queued up for this weekend, which is not really a crime movie. It's more of just a Mario Bava horror picture. But
Oh, that's awesome. Are you still, back when we first started working together, you just bought the projection screen. Do you watch all those on the projector, or how do you watch those?
I just watch them. I got the old Blu-ray player, but I never really considered projecting. I always just kind of, when I bust the projector out, it's either to watch The Last Drive-In, or like bust it out on the deck for the kids, watch a movie. So I just pull the Roku out or whatever. Never really thought to hook the Blu-ray player up to it. I should probably do that. But it's just like the picture's not great, you know, and a lot of the stuff that I have on Blu-ray, it's because I want to like really soak it up, you know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I don't know, like I have the projector for the novelty of it.
Yeah.
Because it was a cheap one. I didn't spend a lot, you know.
Oh, it sounds like it does a trick though.
Oh, it definitely does. And the kids love it. Like they can have their friends over and we played, I haven't done it this year. I got to do it before the summer ends. But we did like play drive-in where I like play like some shitty, like I just put on like a white shirt and a fucking Waffle House like paper hat and it's like, what do you want? Like, you want popcorn or candy? Hurry up, kid. You know, just fucking give them shit. And they kind of love it and also kind of hate it, so it's real funny.
Have they done tried and true drive-in? Do you got many around?
We do that as often as we can. We just went a couple weeks ago and watched Elemental and the new Transformers.
Nice.
Elemental was cute. It was pretty good. It wasn't like amazing, but it was decent. And Transformers was trash. Like absolute dog shit.
You didn't like it, hey?
No, I fucking hated it.
I like Bumblebee, and I like the new one, just because I grew up on Beast Wars. Except,
me too. If you liked it, like I mean, like look, take me with a grain of salt. It had half my attention because I was so over it. You know, I'm open to being wrong about these things.
What in Canada, Beast Wars was called Beasties.
What the fuck?
Some weird trademark thing, just like Bush the band was called Bush X.
What? What about the craft dinner or whatever you guys eat up there?
Yeah, craft dinner. Yeah, I think those all legal things. I think there was a Bush band in Canada, so they had to be called Bush X. All their albums were Bush X, and then Beast Wars was Beasties in Canada. So it was odd stuff like that.
It is kind of fascinating, though.
Yeah, craft dinner is an institution.
Yeah, I hear about it from Ryro all the time.
I'm not a huge. Well, I have it a bit, but I have it kind of in an unconventional way. Most people I know will add like milk and cheese whiz and stuff. I just like it as dry as it can be.
Adam said he got Bloodsport in 4K. Fuck yeah!
Nice.
My kids just watched Bloodsport for the first time, and they're all about the fucking Kumite.
Yeah, that. I feel like every kid needs to see Bloodsport or Kickboxer.
Oh yeah.
Growing up, those movies will affect you.
Yep.
In all the right ways.
Yeah, man, you want to go kick ass, take names,
yeah,
and fight to the death. I love that just the story, like the character arc of his buddy. What's his name? The fucking trucker dude that's just kind of a creep on the bus. And, like they're just like best friends at like toward the end. So tight.
Bloodsport. Just random fact. Budget of $1.5 to $2.3 million.
I wonder what that is by today's standards. Probably about 3 or 4 times that. It's probably $5 million movie.
Yeah,
$6 million movie.
Like insanely reasonable. Like that must be. Not that I. Really...
Well, there's very few sets. You know, it's like a warehouse.
Yeah.
And most of the actors are just martial artists, not like good actors.
Yeah.
You're not paying for. You're pretty much paying Fred Dukes more than anybody.
But what a time, you know, martial arts, word of mouth is what just drives that. You'll see the movie poster. You might see a trailer for it on another VHS, and that's how you find out about it.
Oh, dude, that's the best. I love that shit. Like, it was like in the era where you got like 6 best of the best movies with Eric Roberts or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember those.
And it was like, was that Only the Strong? I could still sing that fucking capoeira song that they fucking sang in that movie.
I don't even.
They're like banana way, banana way, banana. You guys remember that? Like fucking, no one's ever seen Only the Strong, dude. Hopefully somebody on here. Who said Bruce Lee movies? Of course, those are great, but I've seen fewer of those because I was a '90s kid watching much worse stuff.
Yeah, it was Neil. Yeah, I didn't see. Yeah, we're being. Well, I guess we're all kind of in similar ages, so we're kind of that time where.
A lot of Jackie Chan in my history.
Yeah. Yeah, we had. This is kind of like growing up in the '90s and living through some of the worst parts of comics. You know, it's objective, but or subjective. But there was some rough times for comics in the '90s. There was some awesome times, but you kind of lose sight of some classics. Late '90s, I guess, maybe were some rougher times. Did you, Victor, like your love for the Turtles, was that through comics or the show or both?
Nah, man, just the show. I was a product of consumerism.
Hell yeah, brother.
I had fucking Ninja Turtle suspenders. I had Ninja Turtle shoes. I had Ninja Turtle fucking porcelain decorations in the bathroom. I had fucking all sorts of fucking Ninja Turtle bed sheets, toys, all the shit that you have of Ninja Turtles.
Turtles fruit snacks and cereal and turtle pies full of custard goo shit.
Yeah, man.
It's a king's bounty right there.
I was a little bit too young because the book, if I read the cover right, This is 84. I was born in 88, so I like was just not even around for like the original spark of Ninja Turtles. I kind of just caught like, the syndicated TV show and all of that stuff. My cousin who's a little bit older than me. He had a lot of the stuff, so I got it kind of secondhand through him.
Oh, that
Uh,
rules.
yeah, so that's kind of how I got the Ninja Turtles experience. I just bought this recently. To
Oh snap!
yeah, I bought this because I don't know. I joined a Discord with the Ink and Drink people in Long Beach, California, with like Kevin Catalan is in that group and Erwin Papa, and we've had a conversation briefly about them, Cam, and they were working on a remix of this issue, and I don't know. I had never read it, so I saw this artisan edition. I was like coming off of Heroes. I had a little extra money in my pocket. I wanted to buy like an artist edition, but it had to be like something that I liked.
Yep.
So this is the closest thing I got to that. And then a slot opened up for that book, and so I am actually working on pages for that.
Hell
Got
yeah.
those. Yeah. This is like my first pass at some of the panels and like kind of just like
Wow.
taking a look at how I want to do some of the layouts. But I will probably redo some of like this here and like the middle panels. Obviously, I got to redo Donatello here. I don't really like very much. So anyway, I'm excited about this, but this is like the first time I'm reading it. If I'm being honest,
Wow.
I've experienced a lot of like all the TV media basically of Ninja Turtles. I've almost experienced all of that, but no, I've not even read any of the IDW stuff.
Oh man, that shit fucking rules.
It looks so good. When I was doing the TM and Tober challenge last year or the year before or whatever, um, I was like looking up a lot of reference and coming across a lot of the panels from the books and like a lot of the versions of the characters introduced in the IDW stuff look so cool. Like Taka and Razor specifically like look super cool in the IDW books.
Mm-hmm.
I like their like redesign there. Uh, so I'm looking forward to it, but being poor doesn't lead to reading very many comics.
True.
It's funny. I'll buy the odd issue on New Comic Book Day. Not that often, and yeah, it's like every now and then I'll be paying like $8-9 a book, and rightfully, if the money's going to you guys, that's fine. But yeah, it's comics aren't cheap.
No.
Although the Usagi books, those were, I think, $40 Canadian for the big omnibus, and they're like 600 and some pages. So I think they're like 25 or 30 US. That's pretty cheap. Brian, we lost your screen.
What? What the fuck, Rabbit? Leave me alone. Oh yeah, my camera shut off for some reason. I wonder if it's just because my phone's hot or something.
So, Victor, you didn't do like the old ID or the IDW or the old Turtle stuff. Did you do any like the Archie's comic stuff? That would have been more your time, I guess.
No, I did not.
Yeah, Archie's great. I keep Archie digests on the toilet at the tattoo shop.
That'll make people feel like they're 6 again, guaranteed.
Those are awesome.
I had the exact same stuff growing up. Because that was my intro to Turtles. Really was, well, as a show, I guess, but the comics were really, seemed like I had more access to the comics. Saw the syndicated shows and stuff, but the comics were kind of what grabbed me. The Mighty Mutanimals and all that stuff. I loved that.
I still think that Bebop and Rocksteady is one of the best commissions I ever did.
That is a killer commission.
I think that those are my favorite. Those two and Shredder are probably my favorite pieces that I did for that TM month. And I didn't even keep them. I sent them to Cam.
In turn to Brian.
Mm-hmm. They're great. People should buy them.
I agree.
If not, I should insult them. Preemptively, if you're just start insulting people now.
So I've got a couple screen tones down.
Beauty.
Yeah.
A little blurry.
A little blurry?
Any way to zoom out on it a little bit just to catch some. It could just be the stream, like the amount of information. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny because Victor starts off blurry and then kind of clears up if I'm on it for a little longer.
It's a beautiful drawing, Victor.
There.
I love how much I'm drawn to Cub. You know,
Good.
just drawn right into that. It's kind of weirdly peaceful. In the center.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of what I was going for.
Yeah,
I really wanted to express as much of a demonic force that he could become to protect this kid, while still making this kid feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just trying to pull up your guys' turtles pieces here.
It's almost time to bust out the quill nib.
Frank's never looked better, but you're going to have detractors, Brian, because it's not the new guy, Mark Garrison or whatever.
Well, I never play to the haters. You know what I mean? My God, there's this. This is super funny. And there was a gal. So I work in Ludlow, is the town that I work in, and I have my tattoo shop. And there's a couple of locals that hang out there. And there's this younger girl. We were talking about something or other, and I can't remember how it came up, but somebody dropped some perfume, and it was tomato scented.
What the fuck?
Just some natural stuff, and I kind of made a joke about somebody's really got to be I wonder what the turn on is for somebody that they just get turned on by tomatoes, and then I was not trying to yuck anybody's yum or anything like that, because it's the parlance that we say to not kink shame people or whatever. And I was fuck it, if you're just a big tomato fucking turn on, I'll yuck your yum, I'm not afraid of it. You're allowed to do it, but I can still think it's weird, or was kind of just the little stupid joke I made. And she was like, "Oh hell yeah, dude! I'm a hater first, feminist second," and I fucking died. I never heard anybody say that shit. Fucking cracked me. Man. She was very funny. Hater first and whatever second is such a funny string of words. Totally caught me off guard. Dude, Kentucky rules. Did Kate mention to you that I think she's coming up to visit next month?
I believe so.
I'm pretty excited to see her. It's been a while.
I will let her know that you said so.
It will be
if she's not watching right now.
Oh, that'd be groovy. I should have let her know we were doing the stream. I didn't know you guys knew each other. I would have been like, "Hey, tune in, motherfucker."
I should have said something too. So
Neil is wondering what artists influenced you guys growing up.
Joe Quesada for me, big time. Joe Quesada really was my biggest one. Mark Bagley.
Oh, nice. I don't think Mark Bagley gets enough credit.
I think he's great. Mike Mignola, but I didn't realize it until it was burned into my brain. But most of the things burned into my brain from being really young is Joe Quesada stuff.
I can kind of see that in your work.
Thanks. That is a positive. I think when he was in his super cartoony phase, oh my god, you couldn't beat him. His Ninjak stuff, that Ghost Rider cover that's all white, where it's just Ghost Rider with that stick through his face, is just such an iconic. I think it's Ghost Rider number 13. Oh my god, what a cover! And that Sleepwalker cover where Sleepwalker's upside down, just beautiful. And obviously the Sword of Azrael stuff he did that Kevin Nolan inked is insane. And I'm a huge John Romita Jr. fan, of course. Arthur Adams was real big for me, but not his comics. It was the stuff, and Eric Larson is a huge guy for me too. But I would say Arthur Adams and Eric Larson. Adams, I was more for the trading cards, the Marvel trading cards. I just studied those and copied those for so long. And then and Romita Jr.'s card. And then I copied a lot of the Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man series stuff that Larson did. What about you, Victor? I took a lot of time to answer that.
No, that's okay. I was enjoying your answer. Ashley Wood was a big one for me.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
I sort of, when I originally got into comics, I didn't know what kind of artist I wanted to be, if any at all. I didn't know being an artist was a thing until very much later. Until I went to college and I realized I didn't want to do anything else, so I started taking art classes and at a community college. And my teacher was like, "Hey, yeah, you could go to art school because you're pretty good, right?" Oh, that's a thing. All right, cool. So I did that, and so I came at comics thinking that at some point I would be a painter. So I looked at a lot of artists that were painterly. Esad Ribic.
Slam and Bisley and stuff?
Sorry?
Slam and Bisley and stuff?
Bisley was great. Esad Ribic. People who were more working in the aughts.
Oh, yeah.
And the late aughts and early 2010s. Those were kind of the people that I gravitated towards. Mike Mignola was a big one for me as well. Esad Ribic was really great.
Are you a big fan of that?
Is really great.
Are you a big fan of that Namor stuff he did? That Peter Milligan Namor.
The what is it? The Marvel Knights story?
Yeah, the depths or whatever it's called.
Yeah, where he's a monster in a submarine.
Yeah, what an incredible story.
Yeah, it's really great. All of those little stories are actually really some of the best comics they were doing at that time.
Agreed.
The Silver Surfer one was really good. Silver Surfer Requiem.
Oh, yeah, I have that on my
Spider-Man one was really, really devastating.
I didn't read the Iron Man one.
Iron Man? So did I say Iron Man? I meant Silver Surfer.
You said Silver Surfer, but then I thought you said Iron Man after that.
I said Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man.
Oh, the Spider-Man Reign?
Yeah.
Oh, with Carrie Andrews? Yeah, everybody hated that one because of his jizz killed fucking homegirl or whatever. I thought that shit rocked.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny.
I mean, I was also younger when I read it, but I still thought it was kind of wild and a cool idea,
Right. I thought it was brave. Maybe not the best idea, but not the worst thing they've done.
Well, it doesn't age well, but it doesn't change the impact you had when you read it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you read his Iron Fist, by the way? Speaking of chameleons.
Carrie Andrews?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Jeez,
Is that when they rebooted the title?
Yeah, he wrote and drew 12 issues of it.
Yeah, I think I did. I was picking that up when that came out. I'm a big fan of Luke Cage and Iron Fist, like as a duo.
Check this shit out. I'm gonna see if I can find this. Here,
Well,
let's see this.
that
Here,
was
pull up
another
my screen, Cam.
with you had David Aha on the Iron Fist for stuff for a while, and then Kari.
Oh yeah.
Cool this shit is.
Yeah, I absolutely love that book.
It just looks insane. There's like, I want to get to this thing. Like, it's gonna be a. Yeah, look how fucking tough that shit is. Oh, it's all blurry and terrible.
No, I can see it.
How cool is that? Just nonstop chaos.
Well, and then Kari will just just do a painting that it almost looks like Dave Dorman or somebody that did it. That guy's insane.
Yeah, look at this. How crazy this shit is. It reminds me of like Jay Lee or something like that from back in the day.
Yeah, Jay Lee was another one of my favorites.
Here, look at this. There's like this awesome punch that fucking blew my mind. This is a bonkers cover too. He's such a good designer. Like it's such a cool.
Yeah, that's my shit right there. I like that.
Check this. This is fucking crazy. Dagnabbit. I keep wanting to get to this one moment. Anybody who's not read this, check this shit out. This is crazy. So he's got this, 4-panel double-page spread of Iron Fist just beating the hell out of this guy, and then it's like you've got this cool is this Hobgoblin? I can't remember who that is. No, it's just a bad guy. And then these double-page spreads of this fist blown through this dude's head.
Oh my god.
It's spectacular shit,
That's so great. Was that 3 double-page spreads, you said?
Yeah, it was 4 in a row, I think.
4 in a row. Oh my god. I saw the last 3.
Who does he think he is? Jason Copeland?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Now I'm going to have to do like 9.
I can't wait to get
9 double-page spreads.
Sounds like a challenge.
Back.
Yeah, challenge
accepted.
Do you guys know Jason Copeland?
Yep.
I'm really excited to get his full tilt book. I think he's got like 20-some double-page spreads and like 9 in a row at one point.
Nice.
Crazy. I want to read it.
Well,
the guy can draw his ass off, man.
Jumping back to your guys's some of your favorite. Was the last Ronin? Was this a TMN Tober piece too, Victor?
Yes, that was the last day of the challenge. That was the bronze.
Is this? I think this is in Raj's collection.
Raj does have. Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah,
that Bebop and Rocksteady. So good.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones I ever did.
That is very good.
And then there's.
Oh, that Shredder. I miss you. Yeah, these guys.
It was awesome.
I really dug the raft too.
Yep.
Yeah, a few of them got claimed when I originally tried to, sell this stuff on my own. I wasn't really attached to any of it.
I think the Ronin one I think is my favorite of the bunch, and of course Raj, he's on. He's got it.
Yeah.
That piece rules.
That actually, Last Ronin was the first Turtles book that I think I've actually followed through and read all the way, issue for issue as it was coming out.
Really?
Yeah, I was really intrigued by the story.
Yeah, I really dug that too.
I was like, damn, man. I was just thinking of it in the context of my turtles, if they grew up and Mike was the only one left. I feel like that's such a good place to start with a story. So I was hooked just on that.
Yeah, no, I was right there with you, and it seemed like that one was gaining some. Because usually the turtle books are a little fly under the radar a little bit, but that one definitely didn't. I remember kind of waiting on pins and needles because I think that book was a little bit delayed.
Oh my god, dude, the last book took forever. It took forever. Not to mention every issue had like 50 fucking covers. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there were a
I
lot.
did one. I
Yeah.
did one of those.
And I didn't even get asked to do one.
I feel that way every time there's like a Venom or a symbiote story at Marvel, and I'm like, why didn't they ask me to do a short? I fucking crushed that separation anxiety stuff.
So is that kind of like where the dream gigs lie for you guys? Would be illustrating turtle book, Victor, and just doing more Venom stuff, Brian?
No, the dream book for me would be Daredevil. Like that, that's kind of, and those street level characters are completely who I am. Well, if talking about the movies that I watch, you know what I mean? Like whether they're horror movies or whatever, like which makes sense for the symbiotes, but then just all the old crime pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I just speaking of crime pictures, has anyone ever seen Hardcore, that old Paul Schrader movie with George C. Scott? No, I recommend it. It's great. Anyway, I don't want to get under that tangent.
You can watch it on Prime. Don't even have to buy it.
Hardcore?
Yep.
No shit.
Yeah. George C. Scott of Exorcist 3 fame, right?
Yep. Got it.
Did
He does just as much yelling as he always does.
Exorcist 3, first time I saw it, I tuned in right at that horrifying scene that we talk about, and I didn't watch it, but gave it a really thorough rewatch recently, and that is I love that. Did I? Well, I'm guessing you probably didn't watch it, Victor. Maybe Meredith did, but Brad. Well, for both you guys, did you see the new Exorcist trailer, the sequel?
I did.
I saw the trailer.
What do you guys think?
It's fine.
Yeah,
it doesn't look very scary,
Well, it doesn't necessarily it's the David Gordon Green thing. Hopefully the trailer's just whatever. So it doesn't seem like it really breaks any new ground.
Yeah, somebody tweeted up, they were just like, David Gordon Green seriously showed up at the meeting like, what if 2 people were possessed? And all the execs were like, what the fuck?
It really does kind of feel that way, right?
But I mean, I think David Gordon Green's really talented when he does like folk dread, like in the form of dramatic sort of stuff that kind of skews toward like horror or thriller. But I just generally don't think his sense of like abject fear exists. Like I just don't feel that from his work at all. And I really liked Halloween Ends. I thought it was great. I thought the Halloween reboot was decent, or like I guess that first sequel. And I thought Halloween Kills was dog shit. So that's my hot take on David Gordon Green.
Yeah, I loved Halloween Ends. I loved all 3 of them. Understanding that Halloween Kills was awful, but I still really liked it.
Yeah, that's I think a completely fair. I just felt like I was watching a Friday the 13th movie, not a Halloween movie.
That's exactly that. Just the mechanics of that world in Halloween Kills were so much different from the other 2. It's just crazy. They just planted Michael Myers in a completely different world for 2 hours, and then just went back to. Talk to me. Actually, I want to see that. That's just out this week.
That looks pretty interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if it's playing on too many screens, but
that like Last Voyage of the Demeter looks great.
Which one?
Last Voyage of the Demeter. It's like essentially the boat ride that Dracula is on.
Oh yeah. No, I just saw that.
I thought that trailer looked awesome. I'm just waiting on the next Julia Ducournau because a couple of years have gone by, and I feel like it's time for her to announce another movie because she's
the,
my she's my shit, huh?
she the Teton and
Yeah,
Raw Girl. Yeah.
yep, that's my gal. Her, and I would love to see another feature from Jennifer Kent because Jennifer Kent's also the shit. She did Babadook and um, The Nightingale, which I think The Nightingale is like almost literature. It's fucking spectacular.
I think you've actually recommended that to me before.
It was like
Well,
there's not a lot of movies that move me quite like that, and that movie definitely did.
Victor, have you seen Teton or Raw?
Well,
No,
Raw
I have
probably
not.
not. Teton's great. A girl fucks a car. So if you want to see some
Oh,
shit,
wait a second. Wait a second. No, I have seen that.
yeah, that movie's
I have
amazing.
seen that movie. I was forced to watch that.
That's a good
No,
one,
I
man.
was no, we were hanging out and we had like a movie night, and that was one of the movies we watched.
there's some
I didn't remember it by name, but as soon as you said "girl fucks a car," I was like, "Yeah, no, totally watch that."
And you were like, hell yeah, me too. I was,
Yeah,
I was, I fucking love that movie so much. Like
what,
just great.
that elevator pitch isn't even the craziest thing in that movie.
I know, right? Like that whole ending is bonkers. Her still to this day, like there's movies tend to stick with me not because they're so good or so bad, but by the power of their images and moments. Like, and those are the things that make me want to come back. And her smashing her own nose against the sink is one of the most like stomach turning things I've seen in ages.
Well, and then there's a beautiful scene in the middle when that music starts playing and they're dancing,
You're beautiful. Yep.
and it's just this stunning scene, and the music's perfect. The context of what is going on is so fucked up, but it's just a stunning scene. That's a scene of that movie that really stuck with me because I'm like, this is amazing, but this is insane.
Yeah.
What's happening right now?
Cam, did you ever watch Border?
No.
About a border patrol agent. It's from 2018. It's like Swedish or something like that. If you like movies like Titan that kind of fall into like the sort of neo fairy tale sort of category, I would really recommend Border. That was just a powerhouse movie for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a note of that. So the 2018 one, not the 1997 Indian Hindi language epic war film.
Correct, not that one.
Okay.
but put that one on the list anyway.
Yeah.
I would check the letterbox first, but
Oh.
anytime someone ascribes something as an epic, I'm checking the letterbox first.
Well, it's amazing how many films like that you just kind of stumble across that turn into ones that stick with you. It's not even like advised. It's just you type something wrong. I've stumbled upon a ton of good movies just from that.
Mm-hmm. Is anybody read David Hein comics? Anybody in the chat?
Specifically,
Yeah, like the writer David Hein. He did a Bulletproof Coffin and a couple of graphic novels over at. He did a bunch of stuff like in the Marvel Knights stuff. He did like District X and some Batman shit.
He did. I the only thing I've read is the Bulletproof Coffin.
Bulletproof Coffin. It's crazy to me that it's not in the like conversation of like some of the best comics of the last 20 years.
Yeah, that. But I just don't know if. Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's an acquired taste because once you're in it, you're kind of hooked. It's an experience as much as anything. But maybe just not marketed at all. I find because I agree with you that it's phenomenal. And that's what got me onto Shaky Kane. And yeah. Coffin is amazing.
If you've not read any of David Hines' stuff that he's done with Mark Stafford, like some of the graphic novels like Bad Place and Lip Hook, and they did like a weird adaptation of The Man Who Laughs, the Victor Hugo thing. Really super interesting couple of people making really interesting art. He did a graphic novel that is kind of my go-to recommendation for people that like horror comics. He did a book called that he drew himself, David Hine did, called Strange Embrace. What a spectacular comic book! God damn, like some psychosexual, like historical, just nightmare. It's awesome.
Wow.
I don't know. I was kind of reading the Bad Place, and I just was thinking of him.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at it right now.
I think it's about time for the gray washes here in just a minute. Hey, audience, should I put some battle damage on? There's not really a lot of room, but should I put a little battle damage on Frank's clothes here, or just keep him pristine and clean because he's a murder machine?
Who chimed? Oh, it was Kevin Castanero gave you the thumbs up on the washes last time.
No, that's true. He did. Is he in here today?
No solidarity. He hasn't been back. Jarrett didn't tune in tonight. Maria didn't tune in.
Maria seems like she got her ass fucking wore out at San Diego. I wouldn't expect her to be in the land of living for a few days.
Yeah, I think she got. She's posting pictures of her line. I think the madness is just starting to happen.
I love Maria Madness. That sounds great. It's got good mouthfeel.
Adam says clean murder machine.
All right, you got it, Adam. Does my nemesis have a take on it?
I think Mikhail, I don't think he's on right now.
I talked my shit too hard today.
So yeah, for Mikhail, you did, I think it was Daredevil and Elektra, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Neil says add a blender. Speaking of Maria, I know Neil's a big fan of Maria's.
Victor, maybe it doesn't need to be said, but I'm going to say it anyway because I'm an overly sentimental person. We've never met or spoken, and you've been just awesome to hang out with.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. I'm also sentimental, so it means a lot that you said that.
Hell yeah. It's this is the first time we've done the stream since we kicked it back off and had like a third party, so it's kind of a delight to have you in here.
Yeah, this is fun. I'm down to do it regularly, or at least as much as I can. I need to draw, like to draw, so hanging out with you guys is icing. Such good, sweet icing.
Love some real true blue buttercream up in here.
Yeah.
That's probably getting a little too specific and gross.
No, I like it.
Okay,
For me, it's the confetti Dunkaroo icing. That's
nice.
I haven't had that in ages, man. Why am I putting so much detail in this? It's a fucking stream sketch. Get out of here. Let me put grades in this motherfucker.
Well, I think Victor's influence of 70,000 different screen tones that he's using on his piece might have.
Well, I don't know how to phone anything in either, like a fucking moron. So let's see if I can get this cleared up. Let this camera refocus. Is it in focus, or does it just look like it's out of focus to me?
It might just be to you.
Tell.
Okay.
I know it takes a minute when I go to Victor's, but yours seems a little clearer off the hop for some reason. I tried to eliminate some of the stuff in the stream, the additional screen to keep things nice and clear. Are you drinking straight up coffee, Brian?
What do you think?
I didn't know if that was your ink wash or coffee. That'd be hardcore.
I'm just smashing. I don't like to waste.
It's very
My
resourceful.
ink wash.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll all be. I'm training myself for the future water wars while you guys are over here just tossing it in the trash like a bunch of wasteful buffoons. Not me though. I'm different, dude. I'm trying to drink my water so that way I die before the water wars.
Yeah.
I live by the Great Lakes. Who knows how that's gonna go? That could be great or terrible.
Yeah, you're either at a huge disadvantage or huge advantage. No middle ground on that one.
Nope.
Victor, how long did it take you to pencil this one out before you started laying the inks down?
So I took a bunch of commissions before I started my book, and this was one of them. And I penciled like 5 of them and had them like all ready to ink, and then I like got a wild hair up my ass to make a book. So they got put on the back burner, but I would say it took me like maybe a good afternoon or two to get like lay this out, to where all the characters felt like they were in, the right distance and space and stuff, making sure that, I don't know, the drawing looked cool,
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
that the commissioner liked it. And I like to send progress shots, just because like I don't like anyone being surprised or disappointed.
That makes one of us.
No, that's gonna be whoever's that is gonna be. They're gonna be thrilled.
I sent him a photo of just the pencils, like when I had freshened them up. But like the more I work on it, that I I'm pleased with how this is coming along. But I have another few projects right here that I've got like blue lines basically ready to go. This is another commission I'm doing after this, and then this is a cable commission.
So do you ink you ink over those blue lines?
Yeah.
All right, cool. There's some stuff that I feel like I would rather kind of like really nail down on the blue lines, like if like depending on the architecture and stuff behind it. But I'm always afraid that the client's going to be like pissed at me for doing a better job if there's blue lines under it or whatever. Because I don't have a big ass light table or anything, so I just kind of feel like. But
yeah, no, I am kind of thinking about that here. Like there are some spots where the blue is like popping out, and I don't know if that's going to be an issue or not.
The last one I did, I actually printed out in like super light gray, so it kind of, because I don't erase my pencils all the way, so like I don't think anybody noticed that it was partially printed out because it was like a They Live thing and it was really detailed.
Yeah,
I did that. That was kind of my solution.
So, funny thing about me, I've never done a clean anything in my entire life. So I don't think I've ever misled anyone to expect something like clean and pristine. Like what you're drawing right there, that's like, in my mind, the epitome of a like comic pinup, like single character, like just draw me the Punisher. That's like, you just did that. But mine would be a fucking mess, dude. Mine would be like sketch underneath, half erased, like the paper is scratched out because like I drew his face wrong like 8 times and I had to like fucking scrape it out and redraw it. Like a piece of it is cut out and flipped over because I like, needed to. I
saw
ruined
that
the paper
page.
so much. Like,
Awesome. I saw that page in Gmarks. I saw that page where you cut out that rectangle.
Oh yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah, I left a few Easter eggs in there for sure. Whoever buys the double page spread is gonna have a nice little funny thing to look at. But yeah, you're just like so clean, and oh my god, you've got those cups just like right next to your art.
What is that? What do you mean? Oh, is that like stressful?
Bro, yeah, man, I would fucking annihilate those cups. That shit would be flying all over the place. Every commission would come with a coffee stain.
Only some of mine do.
That's all process. As
Mhm.
collectors, we love process.
So, how many months ago was it that you decided to do the Hugh Marks?
Oh boy, what year is it?
It's 1973.
No, I mean I've been working on the Hugh Marks for a long time, but I guess the spark of like I finally know what the first issue is going to be happened like just a few months ago, and I like just had to sit down and make the book that was in my head like then and there, or it would never happen.
Right.
And that's
So-
kind of like this is my first book, and it's really the only way that I've been able to create anything. So I'm trying to, catch the lightning and put it into a bottle, so to speak, in terms of like developing a real process that like I can keep track of and stuff.
Right.
But I really just sat down and said like, dude, it's now or never. Like, make the book. You have 12 pages. Started thumbnailing the rest of the first issue, what you think is the first issue, and then like when you're satisfied, call it done. And like you can ask Meredith. I like started thumbnailing pages, and when I got to a certain point, I was like, okay, I think I can end it here. And then that got me to like 40 something pages, and I was like, I think I can do this in time for Heroes, and that was like the deciding factor. I was like just trying to get it done so that I could have copies on my table at Heroes, which did not happen, as Cam could tell you. But I did have the art done, which was super beneficial to me because I got to show it to everybody, and everybody was really, really kind about it. But it really wasn't much time at all that I decided to make it. It was like 3 months.
So then, what's your writing process like? Did you just do it? Did you write in the thumbnails, or like were you just okay? Cool.
Yeah. So like I know the beats that I want to tell, and I know the basic like story. I basically am Marvel methoding it for myself. I am Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, and that is kind of a nightmare.
You smoke stogies, bud?
Sure, we'll call them that. But yeah, I just like kind of was like, I know visually what I want my characters to be doing, and I know where the like impactful moments need to be. And then it was a matter of like, okay, if you read the book, like it takes a lot of left turns because that's basically how I was writing it. I was like, okay, like how do I figure out this math situation? Like, what do I make a math class about in a comic book? Well, if you kill the teacher, you don't have a math class at all. So I did that. I killed the teacher, like one page to the next, and I was like out of math class. And I think that is like metaphorically works as well. Not necessarily about killing the teacher, but trying to get out of math class. So it was just like kind of a fun experience for me to think about it. It was like very, I don't know how to explain it really, as you can tell by my rambling.
It reminds me, I don't know if it was Raymond Chandler or if it was Harlan Ellison or somebody one time said, to me, there's no such thing as writer's block. If I don't know what to do, I just have two guys bust through the door with guns. And I thought that was hilarious.
Right. It felt very much like that. Like nothing could stop me. It was very powerful, but I'd never like channeled or harnessed that power before. So it was like kind of I don't know, like getting in the driver's seat of the DeLorean for the first time. You sort of don't know what it's going to do, but you're going to pedal to the metal, you know?
Fuck yeah. Hey, yeah. Cam, do we still have viewers, or are we kind of alone here?
Are we talking to ourselves?
We dipped down a bit. viewership's about half, but there's still a few.
Just want to make sure people are, we're giving the people what they need.
Yeah.
You guys have been
What do the
awesome.
people want?
Yeah.
They want
No,
us.
I'm always interested in hearing people's story process because mine is so fucking bonkers half the time. That it's nice to kind of know that everyone else's is too.
No, I think from influences to process, seeing you guys draw, and just hearing what you like. And I love shooting the shit about comics and movies personally. While
Hell
watching
yeah.
you guys draw, that's my jam.
I'm closing in on this son of a bitch here. This mean, rotten bastard.
I am nowhere close, but I'm having fun.
Well, you're kind of doing a different thing. I'm just kind of doing
Yeah,
like.
absolutely. Yeah.
And Brian, you cheated a bit. I saw you had some pencils on the page before the stream started. So
Yeah, I started. I jumped in and then I started drawing because I was waiting on you. They said I was backstage or whatever however the hell they put it. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna draw until I get let in.
Hey, I read something about a commission announcement. What's going on?
that's Bruno Seelig
Oh, I love him.
tomorrow. Yeah.
So
Yeah, Bruno,
good.
and then surprise announcement, and he was actually on the stream. We're gonna drop Eric Zawadski.
Ooh, Eric was on today.
Yeah, briefly. He dipped and then he said hi, said he loved what you guys are doing, and then dipped. I don't know if he's still on, but he's doing some he's doing some kind of color work right now. I don't know if you've seen those that he's posted. They're
Yeah,
awesome.
Eric's stuff's looking really lovely.
Yeah.
If you're still on, it's been great, dude.
And then Friday, Kevin Catalan art drop Space Nights.
Hell yeah.
So
Dude, I like in the scramble of heroes, I regretfully I was going to trade 2 pages of Hugh Marks with Kevin for 2 pages of Space Knights.
did you
And
guys?
we just like didn't get to it.
Oh well.
Yeah, we just didn't get around to doing it.
Well, let me know which pages those were because they'll be.
I think probably the pages I think the ones that Kevin wanted are gone.
Gotcha.
But I mean, if he looks at it and tells me and they're still there, I will definitely let you know. I'll talk to him before Friday.
Yep, all good. Don't mind facilitating. I think I actually Dylan Burnett's not on here, but I think I'm sitting on a page that I think a portfolio that he sent to me actually, or came back to me from New York. I can't remember. Had a DWJ page that he had traded. He's probably wondering where the hell it is, and I've got it. I've got it, Dylan. It's mine now.
It's mine now.
And Dylan's such a sweetheart.
Yeah, Dylan's awesome. Arcade Kings 3 was out this week. Love that book. Love how that book looks. As cool as
So
Dylan.
stylish.
Yeah, and I feel like that's it. I've talked to Dylan a bit about it, but I feel like that's exactly what he wants to be doing. Yeah, I loved Ant-Man, Cosmic Ghost Rider, X-Force. All that was cool, but this feels like Dylan's being Dylan in that book, and it looks beautiful.
Yeah, you were asking about like dream jobs and stuff. I think like making the Hugh Marks, if I can keep making that, pretty much is one. But to be asked to like do something else, definitely some Batman. I could do some Batman. That would make me blush if I ever got offered that.
Batman's fun to draw, I'll tell you that. Every time that he gets on the panel, you can have fun with him. So
right.
Are you guys reading much Marvel DC stuff these days? I just I try not to, come across as a snooty comic reader, but I just found like there's so much other stuff I've been drawn to or like seeking out that I just haven't bought a big two book in. I bet you it's been a long time, like a really long time.
I've been buying blank covers to experiment with those, but I haven't really been. Uh, I haven't had much of a pull list in
Daredevil and Punisher.
ages.
Yeah, Daredevil and Punisher has been the only thing for me, really.
I'm kind of itching to.
As soon as James Herron announces Ultra Mega 2, that will be my one comic that I will definitely pick up. But
Yeah.
outside of that and anything else Daniel Warren Johnson's doing, I don't really pick up floppies too much. I will spend way too much money on trades. I'll buy like the collected versions of books all day long, but I just don't do the monthly books anymore.
I find it's just too hard because I'm gonna end up buying the trade anyways if it's something I really like, and so I
Yeah.
just buy like two issues, forget when the next ones are coming out, then I just buy the trade anyways.
Oh, you guys want to hear a really weird dream job I would take? Sam and Twitch.
Yo, same here. Whoa. Spawn was like my first book that I collected.
Yeah, like
Growing up.
Bendis writing Sam and Twitch kind of changed how I thought about comic books.
That's awesome.
If I ever get a chance to tell Bendis anything positive, that's one thing I'll just be like,
That's
dude.
gonna be it.
Yeah, like I mean, like that's like if you read any of my self-published stuff, it's all horror noir, you know.
Yeah.
And I probably owe all that to Bendis.
That's fucking sick.
I'm a shit.
Victor, with the Hugh marks, how do you feel like that's your creation? With that, I'm always curious with something that seems kind of near and dear, and you published your thing that's kind of been in your brain for a long time. Is that something you want to obviously continue telling those stories? But is that the kind of thing you would want to see other guys tackle, or you want to continue just Eric Larsoning it? Or
I have a roadmap that I want
Does it
to
does it
accomplish.
involve the Hugh Mark having a highly inappropriate sexual relationship? Does anybody? There's a Eric Larson joke about it. Never mind. Look,
Not
sometimes the
yet.
jokes don't land. All right.
Not yet, Brian.
All right. Well, I'll be. Call me when you got it. All right.
All right. I'll run it by you once I've figured it out. Once I've figured out that subplot.
How long is your plan?
So for this like story that we're in right now, there's going to be one more part with a filler issue in the middle, like that I'm kind of going to treat as like I feel like the whole thing is experimental, so I'm going to stop using that as a way to describe it. But basically, I'm going to do a full issue in ballpoint pen with like different colored ballpoint pen as a transition into color, because I'd like the second half of the VR mission story arc to be in color, and then but so I want to do like a you're doing the Punisher, which is ironic because the ballpoint pen issue is going to be like a Hugh Marks Kill the Shark universe issue where I'm just going to like have a crazy dream sequence of them just murdering all the shark characters I can think of and draw for fun. And and then that's just going to be like a fun little thing I'm going to do in the middle. I don't even know if I'll crowdfund it or whatever. Don't know if I'll print very many copies. It might just be like a limited edition print run. But then the second half will be like a 4 chapter thing, where each one is going to be, each chapter is like an issue, basically, more or less, maybe even slightly larger size issue. But it will end with the villain. If you've read the mini comics, the villain mini that I made is basically the end of the chapter. It's like a preview of that. I'm going to redo that storyline now, better and longer and more thought out with what I've got going on. And then that'll like send the Hugh Marks into the real world. And then that's where the ideas that I've had for the last like 15 years have been living, is like in the real world part of the Hugh Marks. This book that I just released was like, I still don't know how to make comics, but I have all these comics ideas, so I need to start a comic.
Right.
So this is the comic that I'm starting with. What you guys are reading is like me figuring out what I want my comic to look like. And I still don't know if that is landed yet.
I think it's great. If there's one thing that I'm picking up is that you're very clearly just want to make really fun comic books.
Yeah.
Like stuff that's just enjoyable to read, probably with some emotional, punctuation in there.
Oh, Jesus. Probably too much.
Oh, that's all right.
Sad boy shark comics. That's what I call them.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Well, when they go to the real world, can you have them go to an erotic cake shop, circa Homer Simpson in the real world, Trios or whatever one that was,
and kill Homer Simpson or whatever?
Yeah.
I like how you're like, hey, I guess never mind. I added that part in my brain, but it wasn't.
The real world arcs, I have like 6 or 7 of them, like full stories with like the villain coming back, fighting like comic style stuff of like superheroes crash landing on the planet, space battles. There's going to be a Western chapter. There's like basically 6 or 7 arcs that I've got that are going to lead to a certain climactic event, and it's going to sort of leave the comic in a place where I will have told all the stories, at least that I have up to now. I will have told them, and like I will have like closed the loop on the story I wanted to tell up to a certain point. And at that point, I am willing to invite like friends who have ideas for the Hugh Marks, or like short mini story ideas, or stuff that's not even canon, just goofy stuff. Like I will start inviting people to do it once I've been able to achieve like maybe all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And me and Meredith are like talking about doing some like anthology, contributing to some anthologies and coming up with some funny Hugh Marks like B-side stories that don't really have anything to do with anything, just to make pages. But yeah, I have like a really crazy idea to have like an acid trip where every page is done by a different artist. So instead of a pinup gallery, you would have like the story being drawn by a different person for like 20 pages. And
That's
stuff like that. But in terms of like, but I would still be the one writing that story and just being like, okay, this is your page, this is your page, this is your page, do what you want. Whereas once I get to the end, I'll be like, okay, if you want to do Hugh Marks in space, or Hugh Marks versus Space Knights, or like fucking, do a power bomb versus the Hugh Marks, like whatever the fuck crazy shit ends up happening, at that point, I'll be totally down to see and experience and enjoy. I think it'll be cool.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, you've got a good. I like that you've just got a nice long plan. I tend to think. More in like closed narratives, So it's cool to hear like I always leave my worlds open, but I still think in closed narratives pretty regularly. So it's kind of nice to hear just how open it is. Kind of. I mean, you clearly have a plan. Like that's there is like an end. Like there are ends for you, which is cool. But
I've been thinking of of these stories for a long time, but I've also thought like I don't know if I'm like the kind of person that wants to do one thing forever. But I have also like I don't like bragging or even remotely sounding cocky or anything, but I have felt for a long time that the Hugh Marks is like a bomb in terms of like an idea. Like it's explosive. I think I've got a good design of characters. I think I have a good mind for just like fun action. I know what
Mhm.
I like to see. I've been reading comics, enjoying art. I like looking at art, comic art as art. So I really respect technique and visual storytelling. Like the stuff you're showing in that Iron Fist comic was stellar. Like I love just I was like logging all of that stuff even as quickly as you were flipping it. Like I was like just eating it up like like a computer. Like I was like just scanning it. It was great. I love all of that stuff, and um, I just didn't know that I could do it for the longest time. And now that I figured out how to make the Hugh Marks an actual comic, I'm very confident in it being at least quasi enjoyable. You know, I've not had anyone give me too much of a bad critique yet, so I am just going to keep doing it because I feel like I lucked into doing it properly the first time, and just going to try to keep doing that. Keep my head down, keep having fun.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I kind of, it's funny because like I just come at this from like, what kind of miserable shit do I want to put on the page, you know? And like, I don't generally think in terms of fun, so it's always cool to hear other people's, approach. Like, cause so much of like, I'm actually gonna have to get going here, but I'll try to make this quick. But like, at the tattoo shop, so much of what I do is crowd pleasing. Um,
Yeah.
you know, people have a thing they want, and I have to make it so they like it. So like, and I like stuff that's just fucking miserable. Um, so like, it's kind of it's the opposite for me as far as comics go. Is like a chance to just make miserable shit, and it's really really enjoyable for me. To kind of just make stuff that
Hey, thank you so much, Adam.
it is looking great, Victor.
Oh, thank you guys.
But
Really appreciate it. I'm gonna keep like messing around with these screen tones probably tomorrow or something. I don't know, like if how long do you guys usually go?
we would probably be done by now.
Yeah,
We should probably wrap it up.
we
Did
usually
I
just
keep
go,
you going?
we usually just go till Brian's done his piece.
Oh, nice.
True. That's
Well,
cool.
we certainly should not go until I'm done with my piece because that will be tomorrow.
Yeah, guys, it's probably a good time to wrap it up. That was awesome. 2 hours flew by. So thank you both. Thanks
Oh,
for
thank you
everyone.
for having me.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, and we're gonna kind of we'll continue to do this regularly, and yeah, it was awesome having you guys. Then no one has to look at my face or hear me talk. They can hear the true
We got to
stars.
have the mustache cam.
Well, Brian,
How are they going to know we're Inky Knuckles?
yeah, that's true.
I expect you to have the hat too next time.
I have like a nice bowler's hat, but it doesn't fit my head real well. It hurts my head when I wear it. Which I've only worn it I think once for Halloween. So yeah.
Get it stretched out, fella.
Yeah, I will. My head's getting bigger as I'm getting older. So older and yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's good, guys. That was awesome. Like I said, you guys rock, and you
Kinky
guys.
Cankles, aka Victor. What the fuck? Am I Kinky Cankles now? Oh man.
No, that's great. So yeah, I think that's it for tonight. We'll be back on. Still kind of doing this bi-weekly, meaning once every 2 weeks. Trying to we'll see if we flow into something regular kind of as we go on, but It's a plan as it stands now. And yeah, you guys stay tuned to all our socials, the mail outs. Lots coming from these two guys over the next little bit. So
I am mailing out books anytime I get orders. Still got plenty of books. Anybody wants?
actually,
Yeah, I just sent out a bunch to most of, if not all of the contributors to the pinup gallery now, which I'm happy about. I wanted to make sure that all of them got a copy, whether they contributed to the Kickstarter or not, because I think they should get one.
and I just posted and starred that link in there as well. So
Hell yeah.
if you guys haven't got a copy, get one.
Hell yeah, Raymar. Thank you, brother.
Rules.
I hope you enjoy it, man.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks, Brian and Victor. You guys rock.
Hey, thanks a
Sweet
lot.
deal.
We'll see
Good
you in a
night,
couple
guys.
weeks, everybody.